Great. So my name is Albert Nation, and I'm happy to be able to talk about this now. So we are going to talk about following up like a pro. And so, like I was saying, in a nutshell, many people in this industry do not know how to distinguish between Ponzi and pyramid schemes and network marketing or multi-level marketing. And that has become a very, very big challenge in the industry. So whenever you tell people about any kind of business that has to do with bring people and you will get paid commissions, everybody, the first instinct is that, are you sure it's not a scam? Are you sure it's not a pyramid scheme? Are you sure it's not a Ponzi scheme? Why? Because many Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes have come in the idea of bring people, bring people, bring people. So we have to really be very, very strategic on how we communicate our business, because we have a powerful product. Our company has partnered and collaborated with the mobile service providers. And so we are at a very, very advantageous position, knowing that we are simply an airtime distribution company. And an airtime distribution company, as always, as I say, can only do two things. Either they are hacking or stealing the airtime from the mobile service provider, or they have entered into contracts with them and they have been given the rights to distribute bulk airtime. So where are we at? If we were in a position, if for any reason virtual AVS wasn't getting this airtime in a legitimate way, then there's no way 10, 11 months later, we could still be distributing it, you know? It could have been crazy, because within a week or two of you not getting legitimate airtime, no company in the world would want to hear from you. But 25 countries, over 100 mobile service providers, and still growing. So virtual AVS is amazing. So I just wanted to start us off, because at that point is where the issue of following up comes in. So you go out there and you talk to people about the business, and they say, I'll get back to you, or let me think about it and I'll be back, or thank you for the information. Whatever it is that this person says out there, what next? You know, what next? Because not everybody would pick the business right at point one, like some of us. You know, some people want to question, they want to do their research, they want to do so much. So people are very different, and it is good to be able to let everybody be who they are. Some are fast, some are slow, some take their time, and when they get in with their full blow. I think we have Coach Paul here, who, when he was sharing his story, he was like, he's one amongst those people who take their time, they do their research, and once their due diligence is at 100% completion, they jump in and they go all full blown. So people are different, and that is why when we are following up, we have to know, whom am I following up on? You cannot follow up on people the same way every single time. People are different. So this is where we start it off. So we are going to look at super effective follow-up strategy, not to mean that this is the best that ever existed on earth, but it simply means we can all come together and figure out, how do we follow up? Because in a business like ours, you've got to build a foundation, you know. I know, like for me, the church where I go to, we call ourselves disciples of Christ. And as disciples, discipling is one key process within the space, where you are attached to a mentor, a person who will be able to guide you, who will walk with you, who you can talk to, you can be sharing things with, and day after day after day, this person holds you accountable and you do different things together. So even in any business model, it is the same concept. You know, you have to constantly follow up. Even people who have bought licenses, you still need to follow up with them. People who have shown interest, you follow up with them. People who have created a customer account, you follow up with them. So how then do you have a strategy of doing this in the best way possible? And so that is what I'm sharing with us today. So number one, what exactly is follow-up? You know, how would you describe follow-up? What do you do when you say you are following up? So follow-up is the process of creating a deeper meaning to the relationship after a first exposure, connection, or meeting with your prospect or your prospects. Because remember, you will meet people at very different level. You know, you might meet somebody in a bus, in an elevator, you know, at a funeral, in some event, on the road, wherever it is you are. And the good thing with our business is that it is mobile phone based, and it is a product that everybody uses. So every single point, you will find somebody using airtime, somebody wanting to buy airtime. I have been in situations whereby I was in a matatu and somebody wanted to buy airtime, and I stopped them. And I said, please don't. I can sell you that airtime. And that is an opportunity to expose virtual AVS to them. You know, so these are things that happen around us every single day. And I know today I was just talking about it. And the question that I was asking some of us is, do you get angry when people around you buy airtime from other sources? And you are there, you are seeing them buying airtime and you say nothing. Trust me, it is really you who is losing. Yes, them they are losing, but they do not know. It is you who knows that they need to buy airtime from another source that is actually losing. And that is money that you're losing. So like I said, creating a deeper meaning to a relationship after the first exposure. First exposure could mean anything, including simply doing what? Talking, showing somebody the app, sharing with somebody what's going on. That is what an exposure is. Let the person know that, oh, so you still buy airtime? Yes. How do you buy airtime? Oh, I just go to my M-Pesa or wherever. And somebody, you tell them, no, 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 I have an app on my phone that every time I load airtime, I make money. That is exposure. This person will live knowing that there is an option of how to make money by buying airtime. That's an exposure. So because you have their number, or if you get their contacts, then you establish a deeper meaning to the relationship. You could ask them, when do I talk to you again? When can I send you a WhatsApp video so that you can watch? And all those sort of things that we do. We have WhatsApp groups where we do trainings. Do you want to join? As in, it's very, very easy to follow up after the first exposure. And that is what many of us do not do. So many of us think that the purpose of the first meeting with our prospects is to get them to sign up. That's okay. This is what all of us end towards. We all want to say, I showed this person the opportunity, they came, they saw, they conquered. You know, that sort of an attitude. And that's what we want everybody to get. Ah, boss, ingia hii biashara ni rahisi, it's a good one. We can all do it together. It's making money. And you want everybody to sign up immediately. That is what we want. But trust me, the first meeting is not about that. Why are we saying this? Because 9 out of 10 prospects will not sign up just after one exposure. You know, imagine 9 out of 10, meaning the people we get, that 1 out of 10 who are amazing people out there, and some of the leaders here are those kind of people. They hear the opportunity and they are in within the next minute. And that is how you run with an opportunity. But then, because another 9 people will not do that, they will want to ask questions. They will want to talk to you later. They will want to follow up later. They'll want to go do their research. They want all those things that they want to do. Now, that is where follow-up comes in. And if you don't follow up like a pro, then you are going to crash your own business. So what then is the idea of follow-up? To follow up means you are the one who knows the business. So you have to educate people, because people out there have their own, do I call them perspectives? You know, like I said, people would hear anything about network marketing and they know that's a Ponzi scheme, that's a pyramid scheme, right from the word go. So it is your role, who has gotten the education, to educate them and say, guys, this is not any of the things you're thinking about. We are partnering with mobile service providers, and we are an international company that distributes airtime. Quickly, those who want to buy airtime, you can even send them 50 bob, 100 bob. I've done that before. And people sign up simply because they're like, oh, I've received Safaricom airtime, really? So how can, you see, and that is how it works. So educate people on the product. That is one purpose of follow-up. Help them to understand that this is what our business is all about. If we do this and we do it well, trust me, we will be creating so many disciples and followers out there who know that even if I have not signed up, The truth is there is an app that is going to pay people very, very well. And that is what people need to do. So get them to commit. Commit means what? Tell them, hey, I want to talk to you on Friday at 10. Will you be available to learn more about this? Can we meet with your family this Sunday afternoon after church? Will you be available? Let them commit to something when you're doing the follow-up. So it is you who has the information, educate them, make them understand, then get them to commit that you are indeed going to be able to meet. And so, why do you follow up? You know, what is this important part of following up? Number one, follow up, an appropriate follow up, you know, it helps you maintain relationships. And this to me is a very core part. Our business is about relationships. Remember, people will sign up into a business based on how they know you, how they relate to you, the impression you create to them. So business is about relationships. If people do not trust you, if people do not like the way you talk about the business, they will not want to be part of it. But relationships are built because you created that first impression. And that's why the word is appropriate. So appropriate follow-up will help you maintain relationships. Number two, it says it helps to keep inviting people to learn more information. You know, when you follow up with a person, you give them an update. Oh, our app was only in 2 countries. Now it is in 7 countries. Are you seeing? You've given them new information. You tell them we were only partnering with 1 mobile service provider. Today we are in 5 countries and partnering with 20 mobile service providers. That is new information. You know, we were not able to withdraw from our bank, but now we can withdraw from mobile money and from our bank. That is growth. So when you're inviting people, when you're following up with people, you're inviting them to learn more information and new information about what you're doing. Number three, it ensures that questions get answered along the way, and this improves the prospect's expression of interest. You know, whenever somebody has questions and you keep following up with them, you send them a text, you do whatever it is that you're doing, they get questions answered. If they had any doubt, they're like, okay, I was going to ask you about that. I am glad you talked to me about it. I was wondering about this. I'm glad you've answered it by your follow-up text or your call or your Zoom invitation, whichever way. So follow-up is a very, very powerful tool if well used. Number four, which is very, very, actually, I should have put this in bold. Number four says it shows you believe in your business. You know, anybody can talk to anyone about anything. But if you follow up, people will know, oh, so you are still doing virtual AVS. I thought you had started doing something else. No, people know that you believe in your business. You started it in January and this is June, you are still doing it. You started it in April and this is May, you are still doing it. You started it last year and this is 2021, you are still doing it. Then people know that, okay, then this is a person I can trust. This is a business I can trust. This is the direction that I can move. It shows you believe in your business. That is a core part of follow-up. People believe you. People start benefiting from your words, from your statements, from your own lifestyle. They see it. And finally, it helps walk the prospect through their challenging beliefs, laws, and doubts. Again, like I said from the first slide, remember, your role is to educate the client or to educate the prospect. So the prospect does not know what you know. You have accepted, you have learned, you have gotten a lot of information. The client does not know, the prospect does not know. So they are still doubting, they still have their own challenges, they still have their own beliefs about things. So when you follow up, it is you who is helping them. Oh, you know, I talked to my friend and my friend said this. I was doing a research and I saw this comment, or I went to this place and asked and I was told this. What is happening? It is you who is helping the prospects to know, I have been there. I heard about that. This is how we solved it. This is how it went. This is how the leaders shared this opportunity. This is the research I did and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you help the prospects to walk through their challenging beliefs, laws, and doubts. So follow-up is not just about calling somebody and saying, hey, did you attend the Zoom? Did you join the meeting? No, there is way, way much more. from point number one when we are talking about creating and maintaining relationships. People want to do business with somebody they like, they adore, they trust, and they believe will be able to support them. So build relationships as you follow up. Don't hit and run. Nobody likes a hit and run business partner, okay? I hope we've not been hit and run business partners. So how do we then follow up? I'm almost through. This is a very simple, powerful exercise. So number one, how do you follow up? You have to see yourself as a business owner. And this is where I know, even based on the other points below, we have a big challenge. If you yourself do not believe in the business, how will you talk to other people? How will you invite other people? What conviction will you share with other people? So you have to be like, this is my business. You can't go and tell somebody that business of those guys there at Kimathi House. You know, can you imagine you talking to somebody and saying that business of those guys? You see those ladies who normally do Zooms? Yeah, those people. You cannot follow up like that. It has to be you. This is my business. I'm so excited about the commissions that I'm earning. I'm so excited about the way I'm transforming and changing people's lives. I love this business. It has to be about you. Once you've treated yourself as a business owner, it is going to help you to know even how to invest in yourself. You're missing Zooms. You don't even read messages on the WhatsApp groups. You don't even care about those sort of things. Yet you've invested, you've bought your license, and you're expecting the business to grow. It cannot grow when you yourself has not owned the business. Number two, we are saying set the tone and sustain it. To set the tone and sustain it is almost a follow-up to the other question, the statement that we had. And what is the point? That you have to be believable. People have to listen to you and say, wow, yes, Albert believes in what he is talking about. Laura is this lady who talks about this business and flows with it, you know? So you have to set that tone and sustain it. You cannot be sharing 2, 3, 4 different businesses at the same time. You know, people will not know who you are, and the scammers are out there and they do all those sort of things. They get into any scam here and there. But if you set the pace, you set the tone, sustain it until it works. You know, that is what, you know, the pray and the push acronyms stand for. You know, pray until something happens, you know, push until something happens. It is all about pray, pray, push, push, push. Number three, when you are following up, help the prospect advance to another type of exposure until they give you a yes or a no. Again, remember, when you're following up, the prospect could be a difficult one. They could be cold, you know. We talk about cold prospects as people whom you meet out of your contact list. They are just random people whom you meet. But those people who are cold could also be cold in terms of reception. So what happens? Every exposure, you need to be able to help the client think, oh, okay, now it makes sense. I think I now understand it better. I didn't know that, now I know this. Are you getting the point of, or point number three? That is where we are at. Every exposure must be getting the client to another level. Unfortunately, some of us, and I'm going to talk about this in the next slide, instead of exposing the client, we pressure and heat until the client does not want to see anything from you again. They don't pick your calls. They don't even check out your WhatsApp. They don't respond to your SMSs. They see you, they want to take off. That is not effective follow-up. In fact, effective follow-up is about exposing with meaning. It's about giving the client a reason to want to tell you, yes, I'm here, I'm moving to the next level. I think I'm now liking this. I am understanding this and understanding the other. That is what exposure follow-up needs to be able to do. But even if ultimately the client says no after you've exposed them from level 1 to level 3 or level 5, it's still okay. We will talk about that in the next slide. Now, number 4, in terms of follow-up, know what mode of communication is effective. Remember, there is a phone call, there is a Zoom call, there is Facebook, there's all manner of models of communications. How do you communicate to specific type of people? You need to be able to know, how long does it take for person X to respond to a WhatsApp message or a text message? What about phone calls? can I set up and know that, hey, boss, can I call you on Friday at 6 p.m.? Will that be a good time for you? So know who needs to be called, who can attend a Zoom, who can respond to SMS very fast, who needs a physical meeting, and who wants a WhatsApp message. People do things very differently. Sometimes we only get stuck to one. You send everybody WhatsApp and you expect them to respond. When two respond out of 50, you are wondering what the idea is. People are very different. So always when you establish a relationship with people, get to the level of knowing what is your best communication model. When are the best times to call you or to talk to you? Or some people will even tell you, I'll check your WhatsApp message, but I'll respond on over the weekend. And they are clear about that. You see, they are very clear about that. So when somebody tells you their clear model of communication, don't go against it. You know, that one again is overbearing. Don't go against it. Call me on Friday at 5. You get this great idea on Thursday morning and you're like, you're there calling this person. You know, you're just going to burn them with your passion. So don't do it. Know the best mode of communication and make it as effective as it needs to be. Then number 5 is also very key. Always be ahead of the game. What do I mean by being ahead of the game when you're doing follow-up? Remember we said as a following up partner, you are the educator. So you cannot be an educator if you don't even follow up on the business. You can't remember the last time you logged into your app. You can't even remember the last time you yourself bought airtime, whether there was a challenge with withdrawal or not. You don't even know. So how will you follow up? You have to be in touch with the game for you to follow up and to reach out even to other people. So always, always, always prioritize the WhatsApp groups that are sharing information about this business, because that's where the leaders share things. That's where everything is communicated. So if you don't read, you won't do the business, you won't follow up, because you don't know anything. When you're asked how many countries we are in today, you have no idea. How many mobile service providers, you have no idea. What is this issue of upgrading license? You have no idea. So how then do you follow up? You can't, and we cannot build a business that way. So to be ahead of the game means constantly stay in touch with what the company is doing, saying, even if there is an error in the system. Unfortunately for us human beings, that is our negative connotation. Whenever there is an error or you cannot withdraw or you cannot buy airtime, whoop, everybody will be alive. Now it will be hula baloo and hustle and noise and everything. But you didn't follow up because maybe an announcement had been made. So for you to be able to follow up effectively with people, be ahead of the game so that you can respond and allay to fears. You can answer questions. You can respond to the things that everybody is asking out there. And you are going to really have a great time. Then finally, we are saying, be a professional. Learn how to accept a no. Some people will tell you no on your face. I don't want it. Don't send me any messages. I don't want the business. That's okay. If they were your friends, what happens? Do you crush that relationship? Say thank you and tell them that's okay. We will not talk about this business. I appreciate what your opinion is. Hey, let's continue doing other business. And please respect their space. If they say no, they've said no. You who understands the business and you know the value or the opportunities, you'll still feel like, how did they just do about this? But hey, they have told you no. Accept the no and let universe speak to them. And you are going to talk about that also very soon. I hope we are learning. I hope something is coming up. We are listening. If you are learning, just go to the chat box and say, I am. Very simple. Just go and say, I am, so that I know that I'm speaking to these 17 Kenyans and Africans and partners and business people. So at that point, just go to the chat box and say, I am. That's all I need to read from there. Thank you, guys. I can see them coming in. That means you're listening, and I'm glad I have a class in here. So that is how we do the follow-up. Now, a few mistakes to avoid, which is what I was saying we are going to talk about now. So number 1, we say, do not forget to honor your promise. When you tell a person that I will talk to you tomorrow in the evening and you set up a specific time, don't be the one to forget, Be the one who is spot on and on time. When you say, I'm going to send you a business video, I'm going to send you the registration link, whatever you promise, make sure you honor it, because it makes you more professional, more believable, and more appealing to your partners and to your new prospects. Number two, do not go into begging or stalking mode. You know, do not go into begging or stalking mode if someone doesn't say yes right away. Are you getting that? Many times as networkers, we would want to think, oh, that was a big fish. I really believed this person would do this business big. You know, I was told this person sells a lot of airtime, and I was so sure they are going to do this. If they don't, they have not. Give them their time, give them their space. I know this is not what many people want to do. There is an issue, and do not forget, I'm not saying that we should not be firm and assertive. That's not the point here. The point here is about you appearing like you need this person to really spend that $69 so that you can earn your $10. Are you getting it? Because people can see that clearly from you. People can pick it up and they'll know this person, all they're interested is the $10. That is all they care about. And when they see that, they will know that you will not support them. Immediately you get their $10, you are gone. Who's next? You're going to look for the next $10. That's why we said follow up and building a business is about relationships. If you don't have many relationships today, after the 90-day game plan we are doing, after the Facebook Monday campaign posters that we've been doing, then you do not know how to build the business. You need to have a lot of new people in your list, a lot of new people coming in your way, because you've built a lot of relationships. So like I said, don't beg, don't even stalk. By stalking, we mean you could be following up on somebody and you see that maybe they have a challenge, and you find a way of telling them, you see, now you've lost your job. You see, now your business has crashed. I told you to join virtual AVS. Don't do that. You know, find a very productive way of saying it is so important to have this business on the side, even as you build the other one. And if people have problems, don't hit at them to join the business because of that problem. Find a very productive language to be able to pass it on to them so that they see the value of what they need. But if somebody still doesn't see the point, that's fine. Let's keep on moving, and we are going to talk about that point at the end. Now, number three, we are saying do not resort to high pressure or harassing. Again, almost like the second point, but high pressure or harassing simply now means you are burning people with your passion. You want to send messages every day. You want to blast people with WhatsApp messages. You know, you're constantly filling up someone's memory because of your passion. And somebody would be wondering, what is this Albert is doing? Find a way, like I said, find the best model of communication. If somebody says, text me at 3 in the evening, there's a reason why they said, text me. When they say, call me tomorrow, there's a reason why they said, call me tomorrow. Or let's talk after 1 month. I have this project I'm doing. You be the first one to say, hey, boss, 1 month is over. I was supposed to check on you. When do we touch base again? Be professional. When you are professional, you are going to stand out. You are going to be in business. People will want, when people are ready to join, they will know exactly who to look for. But if you harassed people, messed up relationships, even maybe cast or did things on WhatsApp or on phone, then nobody will want to be part of you, even in future when they learn about the business. So do not burn bridges. Do not be a person people see and they want to hide. No, be the kind of a person people will recommend and say, wow, you want to do this business? I'm not doing it, but go to Tom, you know? Go and find out Wanjiko and tell her about ABCD. She will help you. You're getting it. So be the kind of a good person who people will even send people to, even if they are not doing that business. I had that sort of a case, and I have to really beg, be proud, you know. I put up a status on WhatsApp, and somebody just picked it up. You know, this is a person I've been trying to talk about the business, but not a lot, because I knew what he does. And so recently, he just picked one post and says, my sister will be attending the Zoom tonight. Not him. He's saying, my sister will be attending the Zoom tonight. And indeed, the sister attended because he gave the sister instructions, and the sister is excited about the business. So she's been following up, and she just wants to buy her license and start off the business. And the gentleman goes ahead and says, I want to invest through my sister. Are you getting it? This was totally out of the blue. He just picked my status and did that. So do you see what I'm saying? If people respect what you're doing, their time will come and they will look for you. Do not put pressure or harass people. Do not burn bridges at all, at all, at all. Then do not take things personally. Again, be able to accept a no. When somebody you thought would build the business does not do it, that's okay. Don't take it personal. In fact, engage in the relationship. I know I did that with somebody on Facebook another day. I was like, oh, this person has a big group. He needs to see this business. He's a young leader. He's in campus. He will build and do what? Then the person says, sorry, Albert, I can't do it. What happens? I continued doing other things that we do together with him. And I even asked for his number and sent him some money, airtime through the phone. And he still didn't see the opportunity, but he was excited about the airtime. Obviously, he was thankful he got 100 bob. That still didn't do the magic, but we still talk. When the magic happens, trust me, miracles will happen. That's what I'm saying. Do not be attached from the outcome. I think a little typo there, but do not be attached to the outcome, because the outcome means it's a yes, a wait, or a no. So if it's a yes, obviously we get excited. If it's a no, what do? We want to spoil relationships. We want to be angry. We want to be disappointed. We want to do all these things. In this business, remember, relationships is king. Always, always keep great relationships. The universe is working for us out there. And that's what I want to tell us next, because it's going to happen. So when the outcome is not favorable to you, find your best way of being very emotionally intelligent to tell the person, thank you. I appreciate the time we shared. Probably this was not an opportunity for you at this moment, but let's keep touching base. Find out even when you can touch base again. If they say no still, that's fine. We will talk about that at another level. But these are mistakes you cannot do. So very, very quickly, 4 concepts of follow-up as we move on to this. Number 1, we are saying, do what you said you would do. That is concept number 1. And I've just put it in there, So when you said you are going to do something, do it. That's why you need a diary, you need a scratch pad, you need a notebook, you need a reminder, so that you do not be the one who forgets. Number 2, set up exposure after exposure. And it says, remember, your job is to educate your prospects about your opportunity and help them to come to a decision. Are you saying that? They are saying your job is to educate them and help them to come up to a decision. It is not saying to help them join your business. They will say yes, they will say no, they'll say wait. That's a decision. So you expose the client, expose the prospects until they make a decision. Obviously, if you expose them well, their decision will be to your favor. But if you don't do it, sometimes some clients are not right at the right opportunity. That's okay. Let it be. But it's going to happen. Number 3, it will take multiple exposures. Just keep holding exposure after exposure. But you see now, number 2 and number 3 could appear to be almost the same, but they are not the same. Multiple exposures means the number of times you do it when, depending on how the client feels or what the client wants. But setting up exposure after exposure is part of a follow-up method whereby it is you who is asking, So sometimes a client might want one meeting after another meeting. Another client might say, yes, I attended the Zoom, that's fine. I will now need to meet you. After meeting you, I'll now need you to send me some more information. So those exposure models are very, very different, but the more you do it, the better for you. Then it says, condense the time between exposures. Are you getting that? Don't talk to a client today and then talk to them again in December or next month. Try and keep it, as long as they are open and positive, try and keep the exposure regular. Sometimes you hear something in the news and it affects our business. A budget has been read, it affects our business. Maybe a prominent person has died, like recently we had one, Chris Kirubi die. You know, you might find an opportunity therein to now tell your prospects that, hey, guys, did you hear what was said? Did you see this? Did you experience this? Did you learn this? So those exposure times always come based on something. Corona happened, a pandemic hit so many people. That was an opportunity to do an exposure. Are you getting it? So many reasons come our way for us to be able to do those exposures. But if you follow these 4 principles and apply them, you are definitely going to do well. So brothers and sisters, end game to follow up is to keep the relationship and the conversation going until you help a prospect come to a decision. That is the core thing of everything I've talked about today. Keep the relationship and the conversation going. And you see, for you to keep the relationship and the conversation going, it basically means you have to be on top of the game. You have to understand where the business is at. You have to know what the world is talking about. Otherwise, if you don't have information, there's nothing that you will share. So what is the conclusion? That many other factors will influence your business growth, but great follow-up will guarantee amazing results. What are these factors that will influence our business growth? Sometimes you'll realize that when we do our poster campaign or we do our Zooms, people might not join. Then something happens with the big mobile service provider, or something happens in the country, or something happens in the global space, or nature, environment. There's a lot of factors that will make people want to come back to the presentation that you gave them. So a lot of factors work towards our business. It's not just follow-up, it's not just exposure. Something can happen to somebody out there. Then they remember, okay, somebody told to me about this business. I think I have this extra money I've gotten. Now it is time to invest. And that is the way to go. So like I said, I want to really appreciate the presentation will be shared with all of us out there shortly. But otherwise, I appreciate that following up is the only way to build our business. So thank you all so much, ladies and gentlemen. It is great to be here. So I'm going to see the people who said I am. Yes, Coach Paul said I am. Anastasia Mutunga said, great training. Sarah Marion said, I am. Cynthia, I am. Caroline, I am. Kipkoech Labat, I am. Anastasia Mutunga, I am. You know, Mary Kibe, great presentation. So thank you all so much. I hope the others really were in there. But again, like I said, this will be shared with us shortly in the group. And I appreciate that we've all